Well, hello and welcome to NICU Parent Network's Health Highlight, where we get to shine the light on a topic of importance to families who are in the NICU. Today, we are joined by one of our founding members, Graham's Foundation, and we will be talking about Parents of Preemies Day. So we're joined today by Nicholas Hall, the founder of Graham's Foundation, and Nicole Bunya Doyle, who runs everything that makes Parents of Preemies Day happen. Isn't that right?
That's
Most
right.
So, thank you so much for being with us and for talking about this just really important day that you started. And Nick, I remember the very first
Yeah,
one years ago.
10 years
So
ago.
let's talk
10
about
years ago. Yeah,
let's
10 years ago.
that's great.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
talk about that. What
Yeah.
made you want to get this started?
I was on a walk, ideas, good, bad, or indifferent, come to you normally when you're doing something other than the work, right? So
Mhm.
I remember being on a walk and it was probably around that March, April timeframe and thinking, our first Mother's and Father's Day, Reese had just come home from the NICU. We were home for 3 weeks. She needed an emergency shunt. So we ended up, being in LA Children's. And so our first like Mother's Day was definitely not at the club having brunch or
Right.
anything related to what you're thinking of when you think of celebrating Mother's and Father's Day or having family over and just
Right.
the all of that. And we were at home and I also recognize that there are plenty of parents that whether it's with their, firstborn or next born, but you're at Mother's Day or Father's Day and you're actually in the neonatal intensive care unit. Right. So it's just
Yeah.
completely and it's just another one of the we get plenty of reminders of how our pregnancy is different, how the birth is
Mm.
different, how, all those early sort of celebrations. And this is just another one of those. And so it was sort of that plus, just reminding parents that you are a parent. So, we
Mm.
and so we do it the Sunday before Mother's Day. So it's intentionally kind of pre-mothers, pre-fathers. And
Mhm.
then we've been doing it for 10 years now. So I also recognize that it's an opportunity for parents to recognize themselves
Mhm.
just in the journey of it. So it's the early that those first Mother's Father's
Mhm.
Days, but also just
Right.
all of us a chance to really kind of reflect and recognize our own unique journey and our own unique path. And for some of us, the mothers is or fathers is extra special. We weren't expecting possibly
Um,
to ever.
Well, I really love what you said about an opportunity to recognize us as parents because, we hear so often that we don't feel like parents. I mean, I know I didn't feel like a parent when I was in the NICU, and then we kind of get lost in all of
Mm,
it because there's so much focus on, the issues that our children need to overcome. So I just, I love that you really point that out, that it's a day for us to recognize that we are parents and we do have
yeah,
we need to celebrate that.
yeah.
So, tell me about the first one, which was 10 years ago, and now. How has it changed? How has it
Yeah.
grown? Just tell me about, because that's another thing that I love to hear about is like, what was your first thought for what this was going to be like, and what has it grown to be?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like every NICU and just every city, and it was going to be a new Hallmark holiday. But I'm a big dreamer, so that's okay. In time. But so we did have in-person events, kind of about a half a dozen,
Mhm.
sprinkled throughout the country, and we
Mhm.
maintained that for a few years, and we did actually have, I think it was American Greetings in Cleveland would come over to Toledo, and they brought their all their swag, and
Yeah.
it was a heck of a lot of fun and made a lot of great connections. And Nicole, along with oh my gosh, Jonathan and
Ross and Emery Ross.
Anne Marie, they supported and drove wonderful events for the longest time in UCLA in Southern
Mm.
California. And so there was always, and there was always, in 10 years ago, social media wasn't anywhere near what it is
Right.
today, but there certainly
Oh,
was
for sure.
a component of that. So we found that managing the in-person events it was just for an organization of our size, it kind of just became more than we could, frankly, that we could really handle. And so sometimes you got to make decisions. You got to that are not always easy. So we kind of moved away from the in-person, but kept the sort of the virtual aspect, and we're starting to, COVID certainly kept things online, but we lost a lot of relationships with neonatal intensive care units. So we've got 10 parents that have plans to go into their local NICU, bring coffee, donuts, juice, things, and for the NICU, for those parents that, are in that day, to just, to remind them that they are parents. And so I think that's, we have, Nicole can speak to the specifics, but we do, chats now throughout the day, and a lot of encouraging of again, parents to share pictures of themselves with their babies. And so it's really kind of like a real online day, and it's, worldwide. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So let's talk about that, Nicole. What do you have planned for the day, and then how can people get involved and celebrate themselves?
Oh, well, that's a great question. Basically, what we have planned is it's going to be a combination of some recorded, like we've pre-recorded a few videos. And then also we're going to do a couple live streams, one with Adam Wood of my Preemie Adventures. He's written a few books, and he would really like to speak to the dad sort of aspect of being in the NICU, which is, just as important as, and sometimes gets overlooked with the whole NICU experience. It's the focus of the baby, the mom, and then maybe the dad, if anyone remembers. So I think it's something it's important to talk about, and also just dad self-care. I think that's another aspect we're going to talk about, because now it's becoming more family centralized care, or at least the focus or spotlight's been put on that. It's like, well, dads are still sort of, not all dads, because obviously sometimes the dynamic is different in every family structure, but stereotypically dads sometimes have to do the brunt of everything while the mom is in the NICU. Well, how are they doing mental wise? Like, we're going to discuss that. We're going to touch upon it. We're not going to get super deep during Parents of Preemies Day, but it's something that I think is important to talk about. We are also going to talk about we're going to have another live stream with Megan Snyder, who does our Parents of Preemies Preemie Parent Mentors program. And also just hopefully, there'll be enough people on who would like to ask questions. We're small but mighty, is what I like to say about Graham's Foundation. And if we're not the right resource, we want to make sure we can connect the parents who have our need of resources, need to talk, whatever, with all the other resources that are out there, especially with the NPN network. We have such a mass amount of just so many different types of resources, which is so great. So we want to make sure those are all connected. We're also going to do some giveaways, which is always the fun part. Thank you, Dr. Brown's Medical. And well, we're going to give him book giveaways and a couple other things, but also just we're going to be present on the day, that if people have questions, hopefully we can connect at that time. And we're going to be on Facebook and YouTube live, and then we're going to repost on Instagram, because unfortunately I can't make those two talk during the day. I'm sorry. If anyone knows, I'd love to hear how that works. My technology is limited there. But it should be a good day. We'll also have posts and have engagement during the day with just posts during the day that people can submit comments. We're gonna remember parents of preemies, parents who have lost their preemies, because they are still parents. We're going to try to encapsulate the whole thing for the day, so people feel like they're acknowledged and there is a place for support.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I've always loved on Parents of Preemies Day is seeing, the stories and the photos that are shared. And you just see that commonality of the experiences that we have, no matter what the gestational age is, no matter what the complications are, no matter, how long the NICU stay is, it's a challenging situation. And to have that opportunity to celebrate your kids and just, being a parent, I think is just such a beautiful thing that you've created.
Yeah.
So you said you'll be live on Facebook and YouTube, and then Instagram later. And so what about these giveaways? How can people get a chance to be a part of that?
I guess I should have included that. Yes, for the books that Adam Wood has graciously donated, we'll be doing that live. So it'll be, but then I think if there's enough people, we'll have to do a randomizer to pick someone. Two others will be just post throughout the day, since we are across the country here. That they can it'll be like a code word to register, and then we'll pick someone. We'll have the drawing the next day, and the winners will be announced midweek. So
if people go to grahamsfoundation.org, they can find all that information on how to enter. Or
best place would be either Facebook or Instagram. So the static ones, if you're on Instagram, that'll be posted. The live streams will not. So the one for Adam will be YouTube and Facebook. I need a schematic for this at this point, but but the other ones will be it's open to anyone on our social platforms. They just need to pop the word in the comments, and they will be registered, and then we'll do a drawing. So
yeah, great.
Yeah.
And I know you went away from being the organizer of in-person events, but you said that some people are actually doing things with their local hospitals as well.
We supported we have 40 mentors. We've got a lot of other, past volunteers and ambassadors. So we reached out to all of them, and we kind of kept it. We know that a lot of NICUs now still have a lot of significant protocols around visiting and things of that nature. So we wanted to kind of really take a measured approach. And we've got from that 10 parents have raised their hand and have volunteered to go into their local NICU and bring some goodies for the parents and the staff on Parents of Preemies Day. So they're gonna have a little Graham swag and a little some goodies, and just helping to spread the word and recognizing those parents.
Wonderful. So just quickly before we wrap up, because Parents of Preemies Day is not the only thing by far that Graham's Foundation does. For anybody who is new to this space, maybe they're a new parent and they just have come upon this, what does Graham's Foundation provide to families?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we take the net. I think of this, I share with people, it's this giant net that is out there for the parents, and hopefully we're helping to be a few of the pieces of that net. And there's a lot of other organizations, many that belong to NPN. So the way we contribute to that net is we have our care package program. And so any parent, family friend, or NICU professional can request a care package for the parent, and that is sent directly to the parent at their home. And that's helps parents throughout their journey. If they do have a loss, we do have a care package specifically for remembrance. We have our mentor program that Nicole previously mentioned that Megan is director of. We have around 40 parent mentors, different languages, moms, dads, different backgrounds, different experiences, all available virtually. We, of course, have the micropreemie mobile app that helps families journal their experience, helps them track the growth and development, and also has a lot of the common terms that they're likely to face, as well as suggested questions based on that particular issue. And then, of course, we have our online community that Nicole manages that really kind of helps parents keep connected day to day. We like to share stories that parents submit, that are that they're willing to share their experience. And so that I kind of see it as inspiration, hope, is really, kind of what the, little touches of that on a daily basis. So, we're trying to appeal to all the different types of ways that parents look for support.
Right, absolutely. One size does not fit all. That is for
That's right.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else before we close that you wanted to mention, or maybe, something that you might want to say to a family right now?
Just to remember that you are a parent and your voice matters. Your voice will make a difference for your baby and the staff. It means a great deal to them as well. So, and that's what we're here to help inform and guide parents so that they may confidently navigate their journey, right? So we're all about empowering parents to confidently navigate that preemie parent journey. And thanks, Kira, for giving us the chance to share.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for putting your work out into the world and for creating this really special day for families. Nicole, thanks for keeping it all running behind the scenes.
Yeah,
That is
no doubt.
no small feat for sure.
Ideas are cheap. Execution is everything.
Hopefully,
Right.
hopefully it's well received and enjoyed. That's the main part. As long as people enjoy what we have to put out there and take it with some, knowledge that they can go forwards and feel less alone in this journey, it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Well, thank you guys so much for this. And we will be excited to be celebrating Parents of Preemies Day right alongside you on the first Sunday in May.